I want to welcome you back to BLACKSITE tonight. We're going to talk about Jennie saying that she will submit to her new husband, Jeezy, when they get married. First, I'd like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that notification button, hit that like button, also comment on this video. Jennie, some say, made controversial statements when she said she will submit to her husband so they will have an excellent relationship. There are people in Hollywood, and especially people online, saying that she's making a tremendous mistake. But Jennie is only doing what her mother has done in the past, her grandmother has done in the past. And to her, submission to her husband will make her family more successful. She's seen how it has worked not only in her family, but how it has helped her community. If you look at the Asian community, if it's Chinese, Japanese, or Korean, the man is usually head of the household. He dictates strongly on education and how they live. If you notice, the Asian community in America is the most successful community in America because the man is head of the household. And that's what she's basically saying. As long as the man is successful and he's guiding the family properly, that they should be head of the household. You see this also in the Indian community, which is one of the most successful communities in America, and also the Nigerian community, which the man leads the household. But it was one time when the black man was the head of the household and the black woman submitted to him because he was out there putting food on the table when there was no government assistance. He was out there fighting racism, and when he came home, his wife made sure the food was on the table, the children were taken care, his clothes were set for the next day from work. That's how it was. But what happened in American society is that in the 60s, this is when it all changed, especially for the black community. And I always tell a story about how successful the Montgomery bus boycott was. When they boycotted any bus in Montgomery, Alabama for a year, and what the United States government found out, what COINTELPRO found out, is that the key to destroying the black family was destroying the black male head of the household. This is why they came up with government programs that say, hey, you can have this money, but get rid of your man. So here comes the feminist who invades the black community and tells the black woman that you don't need no black man. You a strong, independent black woman. But they say that about black women. But have you ever heard anybody say there's a strong Asian woman, a strong Indian woman, a strong Nigerian woman, a strong white woman? Those words are not even mentioned. And those same feminists that told you that you don't need no man, that you shouldn't submit to no man, when they go home at night in their private residence, they submit to their husbands. They make sure he's well taken care of. They make sure that their sons and daughters is taken care of. You telling me some white feminist woman who happens to be Jewish are going to go home and rule a Jewish household? That's not going to happen. And you know it's not going to happen. And I would say these to these black women who are complaining about Jennie go look at the average black woman when she's in a relationship with a white male. She submits to that white male. You don't see her smacking her gums in public. You don't see her screaming out loud in public because she has submitted to him being the head of the household. If you're going to have a successful community, someone has to make the final decision. Someone has to lead the household. I'm not saying that every man is equipped to lead the household. I'm not saying Daquan on the corner or Jawan in jail or Pookie who sell weed on the corner should be leading the household and that you should submit to him. But if that man goes to work every day, he does the right things, he's religious, he's faithful, he should lead the household because he's been worthy of that duty. And that's what Jeannie Ma is saying. Jeannie Ma should not have to come back on TV or write an article or go back on Twitter or Instagram and explain why she's submitting to Jeezy. That should be a natural thing. You telling me no woman truly wants a male who can provide for, protect her, and be a good father, that he deserves not to be submitted to? That he deserves to have a woman who's going to buck him at every decision he makes? Submission does not mean that you just crawl on the floor and have a dog collar around your neck and do whatever he says. That's not what she's talking about. Most men who are in relationships knows that women gonna make 98% of the decisions, but she counts on him to make the big decisions that have to do with the direction of the family. And that's what she's talking about. She believes that this is the right man that can lead her family into where she wants it to be. Their children, if they happen to have them, wants to be. That's what she's saying. And black women and some liberal white women, and which I always told you, you can't trust them because they say things in public, but when they go home, they're not ruling that home. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to tell you something. Most of those feminists that talk that trash is either gay or they don't have a husband. Okay? This is what Jeannie Ma is saying. And sometimes you should sit back and listen to her because this is what she knows. This is what she's been taught. And this is what she has been seen become successful in her community. When she go home and she sees the rest of her Asian friends or Asian family members, she sees the rest of the women who have submitted to their husband. They have a successful family. Everything's working out okay. And they don't have that negative friction in the house. If he makes the final decision, she's walking around stomping around. She believes that's the way it should be. And I do not understand why black women are angry at Jeannie Ma. They're angry because they believe they're going to use her as fodder against black women. They higgle this Asian woman because there are black men out there who are angry that black women are not submissive. But I told you black women are submissive. There are a lot of black women who are willing to be submissive because they want someone to lead the household, just like their fathers did in the past. If you grew up in a household without a father, you don't know what it's like to be submissive to a man who's actually doing the right thing. A man who is actually providing for the family, taking care of what businesses around the house, attending to his wife and his children. There is millions of black women who have never seen that before. The only thing they have seen is their mothers running the household. They have never seen a real man take control. So when a real man comes by, they don't know how to submit. So they end up having bad relationships. But Jeannie Ma has seen what happens when her father and her mother got together and she submitted. And look at what she is today. Look at where the rest of her family members are today. They're probably very successful. And she said, I'm going to carry on the heritage. I'm going to carry on the culture of doing that. So God will bless my family and it will be very successful. This is something that needs to be talked about, and I'm glad people are talking about. I want to thank you for listening to BLACKSITE. I hope you subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, and share this video.